I think the thing that sticks out is regardless of what position we've been in, post All-Star, we found a way to get into the postseason. And a lot of teams, going through rebuild or not going through rebuild, trying to make the playoffs, they haven't been able to do what we've done. And I think it's something to be said about that.
How close are you guys watching the standings?
I mean, we watch, but it's a lot of games left. A lot of teams trying to make that final push, and we know that as long as we take it a game at a time, keep our mind in the right place like it has been, we control where we end up.
So you guys look at Minnesota and what happened there, and we have an opportunity.
For me, I'm just looking at, did we move up or did we move down? I know how tight it is, and we could have a loss and other teams lose and we stay where we are. But if we win, it's a better chance that we continue to rise up regardless of what everybody else does. So I think at this point it's best for us to be concerned with ourselves.
With your play in particular, this is the best 5-game stretch of your career. Is there anything that stands out to you about it or seems different about it?
I think it's my best 5-game scoring stretch.
Yeah.
I think I've had some pretty good stretches where I've just played good basketball. Just didn't score as many points, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think it's just my mentality is whatever I got to do to get the team to where we need to be, to continue to move up in the West and make our playoff run. I'm going to do whatever I need to do. So Anthony Davis said something the other day, and it was something like, sometimes you got to have like a Russell Westbrook mentality. Even if you got to shoot 40 times, you got to do what you got to do. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's kind of the mentality. And it's not so much the shooting part. It's just what are you willing to do to make sure that, this team gets done what we need to get done. And my mentality every game is even if it's, not popular, even if it's ugly, whatever I got to do to make sure our team gets it done, I'm willing to do that. Even if I got to be the bad guy, whatever I got to do, that's what I'm going to do.
I think a big part of you, too, is stuff that goes on behind the scenes. I know in the past that you've tried to help. Are there any other kind of aspects that you're working on right now? Like, for instance, Baz is going through a shooting slump.
I can't take credit for what, those guys do. All I can do.
Play a part, though.
I play a part, but I can't take credit for it. Like me and Nurk, I'm the point guard of the team, and I've been around longer than he has. So it's my job to, if I see something or if I need to challenge him to do that as a teammate and as a leader. Him going out there and changing it is, he does his own work on the court and goes and does that. Regardless of what I say to Mo, I might be able to pick his spirits up, but when it comes to the action and actually doing it, Mo's been the one out there doing it. I can't do that for him, so I can't take credit. But I think right now, I've got a relationship with everybody on the team where it's not really anything for me to go out there and give some big speech or do anything. I think it's going out there and proving it. You let that desire show through by your actions and going out there on the court and showing the team, I'm willing to do whatever, and taking that extra step. And, when guys see that, they'll follow suit. They'll jump on board with it because they know who I am, what my intentions are. They know where my heart is. So I think that's the biggest thing that I could do is go out there and show it, and give guys something to follow, I guess.
Yeah. How about with Baz? Do you make anything of his?
I think I said to y'all before, Baz's birthday is the day before mine.
Right.
And me and Baz laugh all the time about how similar we are in a lot of ways. So I don't worry about it. After the last game, I think he was over 10. Mm-hmm. And after the game, we kind of laughed about it. He was like, man, I couldn't make a shot. And I was like, yeah, I got that tip dunk because you was missing all night. And when you shot it, I was like, this might come off. So, like, Baz is not a mental midget. He can. You see, he missed a couple. He kept shooting them. And that tells you everything you need to know.
Damian, you guys getting better at closing out games. I'm thinking of the Warrior game when Turner hits the 2 free throws, Chief hits the 2. Utah cuts it to 9, and then CJ with the jumpers, and then just the mental. You're down 15 with 7.5 to go against Phoenix.
I think it's just, like I said yesterday after the last game, man, the urgency. You know, a lot of times we build a lead sometimes and we start playing to milk the clock and all this. And I think just our urgency, our focus, and the desire has been different. You know, at the end of games, I remember thinking to myself in the Golden State game, they started making shots, they closed in on the lead, and I was like, man, this is not happening this time. Like, this is not happening this time. And I go say something to CJ, and his attitude was, his energy was the same as mine was. Like, man, we got to get one stop. We got to do this. And then Ed was the same. We got to do. Everybody was just like, we got to get a stop. We got to rebound. We just been on the same page with, you know, the details, the small stuff that we got to do to be able to close out games and pull out wins.